This is KWTC. Good morning, it's Monday. Well, it looks like the guys at the KMT line yard office finally got their new roof. With the new roof and the repairs and new paint on the building, it looks like the work is all done. Now they need to do something about that ugly fence in the parking lot.
All right, now I know in the last video, last update, where I ended, I was talking about doing the restaurant and hotel building here. But unfortunately, right now I'm waiting for parts and materials, so I can't get started on that yet. So in the meantime, what I decided to do is get started on the building that's going to go right here. And it's going to be a single-story wooden structure that is the yard office. And it's going to be a fairly new or fairly updated building, clean, like the other buildings here. In this area, everything is fairly clean and new. So I got started. I have the foundation down. It's just a couple of pieces of, I think I used one piece of balsa wood and one piece of, maybe it's two pieces of balsa wood. I'm not sure now. I don't remember now, but it's two pieces of wood glued down, sandwiched so I have the nice thickness. And then painted a medium gray. And so it's ready for the building to go on top of here. Like the radio station over there, they'll have a little bit of a front porch. Parking lot here and parking over, supposedly over in this area here off the layout. But so yard office, wooden building, single story. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's go over to the workbench and show you what I've got started on it so far. All right, so you can see I have all four of the walls cut out to the shapes I need and the size that I need. The long walls are about 33 feet, so it's going to be about 33 feet by 20 feet. And I'm using clapboard material, 1/16 of an inch thick. The clapboard is, these are 10-inch clapboards, so it's 10-inch pieces. Windows are cut out, doors cut out, and bracing on the back is put in. So really the next thing, one of the other things I've already done is I've given all of these four pieces a light coat of matte sealer. I think what I used was, I just used a matte sealer to seal these. And then I gave them a very light sanding, not a lot, just to knock the roughness down. But so it stays sealed. And now what I'll do is I'll paint the inside walls black. And I have typically I've used one of two things. I either use this lamp black with a brush, brushing it on, or with the airbrush I've put on XF1 flat black from Tamiya. And I think today what I'll do is I'll go ahead and use this stuff. Spray all the inside walls flat black, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the interior walls painted black. I used the Tamiya XF1 flat black in the airbrush, and got that all done. Now, what I'm pondering is the colors for the outside walls. And this is the part I have the most problem with. I agonize over the colors. For some reason I go crazy trying to figure out what colors I want to paint these buildings. Now I've gone and looked online, and obviously that's what we do, is look online, do a search, and I've looked for yard offices and yard buildings and looking at colors, and most of them turn out white. Probably what I'll do is I'll try and insert some pictures here that I've found that most of the buildings, they're simple. Railroad's not going to go crazy and go have a whole fancy bunch of colors just for their yard office. And so what I'm thinking is I'm going to start off with flat white, XF2, and kind of start there and then go from there. I know that I don't want it solid white. I really don't want that. So what I may end up doing is the bottom couple of sections of wood, may go down bottom of that and pick another color, some darker color. Now, I originally thought about yellow, and I decided that yellow just wasn't going to work right for me, because I also want to use it for the trim on the windows and doors. And so what I may do is, after I paint it white, I may take a look and do a little test with either this JN Green XF11 or XF58 Olive Green. One of these. So try that. I'll do a little experiment, see which one I like the best. As I said, I'm going to paint the trim, the window trim and everything of those colors too, whatever green color I pick. So I've already primed the windows. No, let's see, the windows are double hung, Tichy Trains double hung 2x2. They are number 8061. That's for the windows. And the door, I'm using the frame and then the door panel itself. And that is door and frame transom number 8116. So those will be the windows and the doors. And they will be, the trim and the windows and the door will be painted whatever bottom color I decide, whether it's going to be the JN green or the olive green. The door will probably be some different color. I'll do the trim in this green, but the door may be some other color. I'm not sure yet. But so, I'm kind of agonizing over it. I know, start off with white, then we'll go from there. All right, let's see you on the other side. Okay, so I've got the walls and window trim and door for the yard office all painted. Let's see, I started off with XF2 flat white from Tamiya, airbrushed the whole building, the walls white. And then I masked it off, and I had two colors that I had thought about using. XF58, which is I think this is, olive green. Thought about using that, and then what I decided to do is go ahead and use the XF11 JN green. It's darker, but I like the color. And I painted the bottom part of the walls, and I painted the door and window trim, this JN green. And then for the door, I went ahead and went with this, it's a dark yellow, XF60. Give me a yellowish, creamish door. And then put it all together. And then for the glazing, I did not use the normal window glazing that comes with the Tichy Trains windows. Instead, I used this. I used 9007 clear, 15 thousandths thick styrene. Easier to work with for me. And so that's the windows and door and walls. So now I'm ready just to start doing assembly. And then I have to start thinking about what I'm going to do for a roof. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a roof, but I got a ways to go there still. Glue this stuff up. It'll take a day for everything to dry, and then go from there. Okay, first off, let me say that if things look a little different in this section of the video and sound a little different, it's because I'm trying a new camera. I bought what is I can best describe as a budget-friendly video camera. It does stills also. Got all kinds of capabilities, but it has one problem. It does not do autofocus in the video mode. Now, I don't know how people can make cameras that don't have autofocus in all modes, but especially not in the video mode. but this camera does not have autofocus in the video mode, and I'll show you what I mean. Corner posts. I added corner posts to each of the four corners of this, and normally what I would say is, here's the product. Well, that's not focusing. It does not focus. So what I'll do is from now on I'll just put it down here, and that's fairly sharp, that's readable. And if the print is really small, then I will put text on the screen and give numbers and stuff. So anyway, I'm a new camera and learning how to deal with it, and hopefully it won't bother you guys too much. So anyway, the building is put together, all four walls glued together, windows installed, and curtains or blinds, doors installed. So all four walls are assembled, and it's ready to go. One of the other things I did is, it's all blacked out inside there. One of the things I did is wrong wall, this way and this way. I made a little scratch-built little room. I'm calling that the bathroom, and I'll have a vent pipe coming out of the roof over here in this area here, and I'll probably put a wood-burning stove or simulate a wood-burning stove here with a vent coming up out of the roof here. So that's it. So next step, make a roof. I'm still really not sure what I'm going to do for a roof. I have to do some more research, play it around. So we'll see how that turns out. So anyway, new camera, hope it's working. Pretty much building itself done, needs a roof. That'll be the next step. Okay, so I've got the roof made. After a couple of agonizing days of trying to decide what I was going to do for a roof material, I settled on corrugated metal roof. And what I used was I had some of this corrugated material from Northeastern Scale Lumber Company. It's HO scale corrugated metal roof material. It's 1.5 inches wide by 8 inches long. And what I ended up doing was trimming off a 1/2 inch off of each of the pieces. So this is 1 inch wide. And then I cut them so they were 8 scale, just a little bit above 8 scale feet wide, and glued 2 rows down. Now when I glued them down, I used CA, some super glue, as a clamp, and then some of this matte medium. Now what I ended up doing is really scuffing up the underside. Hopefully that will so you get some tooth to bite into this stuff, because this stuff doesn't like to stick to this. Super glue will stick to it, but I'm not sure how well the matte medium will do. So I used both. I used super glue in the corners, and then the rest of it was matte medium. So that's got it glued down. And then for the paint, I used airbrush to paint it, and I used the light gray XF66 to paint it all. And then I came back with some weathering powders, and it's just gray weathering powder. I think it's called gunmetal or something like that. And just swiped it on there just to give it something there, so it doesn't look so flat. Then I created the smokestack for the wood burning stove, and a vent stack for the plumbing system, right above the bathroom. So that's the roof. I guess the next thing to do, one of the other things I've been working on here is this little guy. It's the breaker box and meter for the back of the building. This is just scrap material. See how well this will focus, how close it'll focus. But it's just scrap material to make a breaker box and meter. So that's with the roof and the meter box. Let's see what I got going next. All right, so continue on. What I've got here now is I've got the signs, the KMT line signs put on front and back, and I also have the electrical breaker box in and attached. So, oh, I've also got the hole drilled for the lamp, and the lamp has been made and painted, and we'll get ready to install it. What I'll do is I'll install this last after I glue on the roof, and then glue on the trim that goes along here. Be putting some trim pieces. Those trim pieces will be this scale 1x8, and this is Fast Tracks scale 1x8 lumber, and I'll pull out a piece of this in a little bit, paint it the same green as this. I think it's the JN green, and then get ready to cut it after I put the roof on. So glue the roof on, paint this, then install the lamp, and I think it'll be done. Yeah, cool. All right, see you on the next step.